the escalator again.
Leave it alone.
What?
Comics.
What are you?
I'm Batman. TV and movies. Wrestling. Music.
We are just getting started!
Finally, a podcast about things you actually care about, hosted by a couple of guys who actually care about those things too.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Maybe a little too much.
Yes, that's awesome.
The talented one, Chris Machete.
That no-talent ass clown became famous.
And Brenton, you know, that guy from your other favorite podcast.
I liked it. I was good at it.
So grab onto the handrail and don't let go.
I'm gonna get a medic! There's a little boy caught the escalator!
This is the Kids on the Escalator podcast.
Woo!
Here's CM and BD.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
That's true. Hi.
That's you.
Hi, I'm Chris.
That's me. Live from Kingston, Ontario.
Yeah.
What about this shit? This
fun-
is pretty rad.
Funnest place in the world.
The funnest
Kingston,
place
Ontario.
in the world. We're here at the House of Machete. Welcome, everybody. It is the
Yay.
Kids on the Escalator podcast. 2 in 1 week. We did another one the other day, and here we are. But I happen to be in Kingston, so here we are.
So more videos are being done.
That's right. So we're just chilling out in the House of Machete, and welcome everybody.
Coffee.
Welcome everybody. He just had he's having a coffee. I'm having one, and I got like a train to here. Spent like a little bit of time with my dad and sis. Quick stop on the way to Ottawa. It's Kingston, Ontario. Right here. We talked about the joys of this city. We had a great whole panel about it.
We had the future mayor of Kingston.
Jeff Pierce. That's right. Buddy, how you doing? Coincidentally, I met the mayor of Winnipeg the other day.
Oh yeah, what's he like?
He's a rock
Or is it,
mayor.
what do you mean?
He loves the rock.
Oh, okay. What's his favorite band?
I don't know.
Not the Imagine Dragons,
No,
is it?
it wasn't Imagine Dragons, but he likes to go and do the rock shows, and I met him through our buddy Brent Fitz, who is actually the real mayor of Winnipeg.
Cool.
Fitz, we know it's you, because every time we come to town, he's got all these people. Anyways, he had the mayor there and the kids, and that guy goes to every rock show. Big Foo Fighter fan, big Metallica fan, all that stuff. So yeah, so he's a young kind of like hip, cool mayor.
He's a hip, cool mayor.
That's right. Because what mayors do you know, are dying to go see Metallica?
Well, remember Tom Rowett was. Remember, he's the mayor of
right.
Port Perry, and he
Port
liked that
Perry.
kind of stuff.
That's right. So
I heard that whole thing ended badly, so we won't talk about that anymore.
well, then you moved to Kingston.
Yeah, so it ended well for me, but I don't know whatever happened back in Port Perry there.
Follow us on the Twitter. There you go, Kids on the Escalator podcast. This is your stop. This is where you want to be. Pop culture, all the things. We talk about as many things as we can every week, as you guys know. And we rarely get a chance to be in the same room.
We're in the same room.
So here we are.
He's in one ear, I'm in the other. There you go.
So I'm on my way to Ottawa right after this.
Yeah, it's like a 2.5 hour visit, and then he's off again.
Yeah, and I'll be back in like August or something. And yeah, it's like that's just the way it goes with us. It's been years of just hitting runs and being able to.
And it's funny, so, and you're going to be in the same city as my daughter. My daughter is out on tour with JJ Wild and Glorious Sons.
Yeah.
She's running the merch. So again, if you're going to Glorious Sons tour and you see the little blonde girl or whatever color, like usually blonde behind the. I guess there's a glass that they have to put the merch behind and everything. So the little blonde girl behind the merch running around. That's my daughter Taylor.
And she's rad.
And she's awesome.
We're going to be in the same town doing shows on the same day. Like, that might be a first. Oh, cool. That might be a first where I'm doing a show and she's doing a show on the same day on opposite sides of the city.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Pretty rad. So that's going to be pretty cool.
That is pretty cool.
Speaking of shows, you got some shows coming up.
We do.
A comic show coming up.
What do we got?
Stuff. Let me bring that up here. You're gonna be here.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so we already did the Kingston Canadian Film Festival. That was a success. Very cool. That was a weekend. I can't remember what weekend that was. March 12th. There, it's right there. Okay. So, starting. Okay, so we have the Kingston Comic Con on Sunday. This Sunday, April 24th, downtown Kingston. Really looking forward to that. We've got some cool stuff. We've got, of course, issue number 1. I got 2 issue number 1s left, and they go for $15. So. You got to be a true believer to get that one. Right?
Skeletron.
Skeletron, yes, right. Skeletron. And we have issue 2 available. We'll have issue 3 available. I'm going to have some prints, some small prints. Yeah, that's awesome. I have a small print of that available. And there's issue 2. It will be available at the con, and it'll be $7. So the shitty thing is is that people who order it online, and I'm sorry, man, I feel bad. Like, you're paying $7 for the comic and $8 for shipping. Like, that sucks, man.
Yeah.
And as we discussed earlier,
the reality of the
world is there's a bunch of douchebags running it. And there's nothing we can do about it. So we do the best we can, right? We do. Yeah, that's the conclusion I've come to anyway. So I apologize. But if you can come, if you're local, you can get these comic books for not only can you get, you can get issue 1. There's only 2 left for $15. But check this out. Issue 2 and 3, you can get each individual. Like if you want to buy one, it's $7. If you buy 2 of them, it's $12. You're getting it for $6.
Come on, support your indie scene.
But what a good deal compared. So you're getting it for $6 as opposed to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, as opposed to $16, $15. Holy shit,
friends! Like this is like the stuff, and I got my copy today.
Nice.
You know, this is the benefit of arriving to Kingston. Yeah, look at that.
Sweet, huh? That's issue 3.
It's the only Dean Blundell Network comic book. Yeah, right there, produced by Chris Machete on the Blundell Network. Let me do this. There we go. See, there's live in this. Yeah. So really cool. I'm stoked to get into this.
Yeah, so we're doing the what do they call it? Canadian Kingston Pop Culture Con or something. So I got, and there's like a print. There's an example of the print. That's okay. There's an example of the print that we're doing, and that's the cover of issue 1. Huh? Isn't that awesome? So that goes for $10. And here's another neat one that we have. This is a little Easter eggy one. This is nice. Oh, it's so bright. Okay, so anyways, from The Shining, great party, isn't it?
Very cool.
Having a rough go show that one.
Every time I come here to Chris's house, it's like
you can't touch the edge of them.
I can't touch the edge of them.
No, because you'll get prints. There's other ones. There's Spider-Man ones here. There's a Silver Surfer one here that's really cool. There's even just like a skull one that we did that's I'm not doing them justice here, so I'm going to stop showing them. But if you come to the comic convention, the black and whites are $7. The color are 10. Really nice little pieces of artwork. Okay, so and then the following Monday, the next day, at local comic book shop SBT Comics, we are starting our comic book workshop. So learn how to make comic books like a pro. It's for kids. I believe there's only 2 spots left for this. And I'm thinking that people I meet at the comic convention the day before, I'm probably going to get a couple that sign up. So I may, if one extra person wants to join, that's fine. But we are at 8 kids. I only wanted 10 because, I'm not a babysitter. I love that line, right? Not a babysitter. So anyway, sorry. So your kids are great, I'm sure.
They have their moments.
No, but and this is great. This is great for kids who are very creative. Does your kid sit at home by themselves and draw all the time? And you're like, oh man, my kid's introverted. I'm inverted. I'm a little worried.
Well,
no, but wait, parents do think that, and that's okay. Yeah. That's okay. Your child is just not around the same people that their interests are reverberating off of. So if you send them to something like this, all of a sudden, not only is your kid having a great time, not only are they learning something that could have a career for them, they can make money off of, but they're sharing their ideas, their creativity, their love for comics, their passion. They're fun with other kids that have the same passion as they do. And trust me, the kids that come to my workshops, man, we're all, and I call myself a nerd. They don't like it when I say that we're all nerds. They don't dig that. Different generation. I'm Generation X. I'm like a sit still nerd. I like it. But anyway, so yeah, it's great spot for kids to get out from being by themselves, still enjoying what they like to do with other kids. I mean, come on.
And embrace it, parents. If your kids showing signs of talent, don't ignore it.
Oh, and then after that, I'm doing the Kingston Heritage Society. Now this is a little different. They're doing this online, so they purchased 2 1-hour videos off me. One is this is for the schools, we're showing this to all the public schools in Kingston. So a big gig. I don't have to leave the house. So the one is for public school. And what I'm doing is I'm going through how to make a comic book. I'm going through my office. It's pre-videotape. They're going to be showing in their classrooms. We're coming in here. We're going to show them how we
color it.
Well, how we scan it, how we print it, the whole process. Yeah. But we're going to simplify it a bit for the kids. And then I'm doing a high school one where I'm going to more show them how to run a business and the other thing is Kingston Heritage. What the main thing running through my comic book is Kingston Heritage. I have Wolf Island. I have the penitentiary. I have the city hall. So that is another thing that I will be showing tips on writing. You know what I mean? Write what you know. Write what you know. And that's another thing that I'll be explaining. So I'm doing, I guess it's a speaking arrangement I'm doing video-wise that all the public schools in Kingston will be watching me. And so, and then we start over again. Then I book another comic convention. Then I book another workshop. and whatever else the city has for me, because the city always offers me many, many gigs.
Well, I mean, I love the fact that you tie in the. I mean, Crew's love for Kingston since he moved here, but I mean, it's been great for him. And
Mhm.
had,
My whole family, like everybody.
yeah,
My whole family, my wife, my daughter, my parents.
Dangerous Dorothy, Gracious Gary, what's happening? Yeah, good to see you. Yeah, I'm here in town, so I couldn't stop by.
Yeah, it's a quick visit. We would have
hit and run, friends.
We could have hit Montana's there, but
yeah, meat. I just came from Alberta. I got all the meat.
They have salads too. You're good.
No, it's nice. I have a lot of meat. So be sure if you guys are in the Kingston area to check the Central to see Machete, because
there it is. So
there's some rad stuff. Support your local artists.
Yeah, and the comic convention that we're hitting is a small one. It tours all over, so I'm really hoping this one will go well, and we'll make a little bit of funding to go to the next one and stuff. Because we got a little late. It cost us it cost us around $80 to get the spot. Yeah. Usually, if we get in on time, it'll be half that. It only costs us $40, so we got to make a little bit extra money this time. No big deal. Plus, we bought some stuff, so one thing is it is my own business, and I am the boss. But I am smart surprisingly about how I spend my money and stuff. And if I do invest money in this, I don't want it to interfere with mortgages and whatever's going on. And other people have helped me out with starting getting the ball rolling. You know who you are. Thank you very much. And that you need to parlay that and keep that going, though, right? So again, it's not like a business where I'm like, oh, what the hell, I'll put some comics out. Nobody's buying them. I don't know what I do about it. No, there's a business sense there, right? So we'll see how this first one goes. And if we do smashing away at this one in Kingston, I'll jump on the bandwagon. I'll hit the Belleville one. I'll hit the Pickering one or whatever. I'd like to go back to Oshawa, obviously, and hit that one. So yeah, so this is the start of the Machete tour, and it's very exciting.
Check it out, folks. I got my copy, and there's nothing greater than getting a hard copy of your friend's work. I don't even want to open it, but I'm going to open it.
Some people don't.
I'm going to open it on the train.
That one's kind of. I'm starting to get a bit of a dark. Well, the wrestling community is kind of funny. You got to admit, it's funny. So this spotlights on a two comic story run of our wrestler guy, El Trivico. So it's kind of funny, in a dark way. The storyline after this is just dark, but this one, he's funny, dude. He's like Negan and the Ultimate Warrior or Macho Man put together.
Does he shake the ropes?
Does he shake the ropes? Yeah, you'll see it. He's in there.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Buy all the things.
Yeah.
This is like the greatest thing. Chris got all the little prints are really, really cool.
Yeah, the little prints are great. And as I say, they're expensive. They're not that expensive. There's like some Marvel work that I did. Oh, it's not give it a justice. Anyway, that's the Marvel work I did. I have that in there as well. So those are $7. The comic books are $7 as well. And if you buy two, you get it for $6 each, man. Like that. I'm stoked.
Do we have a deal alarm? I don't have a deal
alarm. I know, right?
We need a deal alarm.
But I'm excited to get that out there. That'll be fun. And plus, I can buy some comics myself. I always put money aside for myself.
Well, you know what? Not only just buy comics for myself.
Yeah.
Hey, look at that action right there. Because, I'm a Superman guy. We know this.
That's a rad cover, though, dude.
I love it. So, anyway, friends. Speaking of things and radness, two things we're going to cover today. The new Thor trailer is out. We're going to get into that. We're talking a lot about indie comics and, all the rest of it. But Chris was able to find a Thor storyline in the dollar bin, and we'll get into what they're worth. But he bought them for $1, and they're not going to be worth $1 much longer, much after July, as they go up. But that's why get your local indie comic, guys, because you never know when it's going to get taken and put into a movie.
Yeah.
But Chris found a bunch of Thor stuff, and also he finally saw the Batman. So I think we'll get into that. And just for the sake of it, let's play the trailer again for you in case y'all forgot and you haven't watched it yet.
All these years, you lied to me, Alfred. We all have our scars, Bruce. You're still away.
He's involved in this?
No, he's not involved.
How do you know? He's a vigilante.
Who are you under there? What are you hiding?
Selena, don't throw your life away.
Don't worry, honey. I got 9 of them.
It can be cruel, poetic, or blind. But when it's denied, it's through violence you may find
Justice. The answer's justice.
Come on, vengeance. Let's get into some trouble.
Wow, that was great. Oh, great. On my TV.
Is this Batman? So we all agree that the Dark Knight has Batman, we have Batman Returns, and we have all the other shit. Um, so that's Batman series. Dark Knight's one of the I know I still like I like that. It's real superhero. I kind of love that. So for me, Dark Knight, Batman, Dark Knight, for sure. So what do you think?
Yeah, well, I liked it. I liked it a lot. One of my favorites still is Dark Knight. Joker, Legend, Batman, follow Batman. Great story. Lots of little Easter eggs in there. The Joker, I would think. And that's a good point. Yeah. So the first one of the Joker series, yeah, and it was good. It wasn't like, and then the second one was, oh, it went like this. Whoa! And went up. And then we had the Night of the Joker, and then one of the things was just, there's a lot of things. And then Catwoman made it more unbelievable, but you had this really believable Batman story going on, and especially with the Joker as a villain with no powers, just a crazy guy, who, like we were discussing earlier, Alfred has the best mind. Some people don't know how to steal, but they want to watch everything. Watch the world burn. How do you catch it? You burn the city, you burn the village down, right? So and that's just a human being, as a person like anybody else. It's not like I had nothing against something. So that made that movie even more real. So the third one, it could have been anybody. It was Catwoman. It was apologize. Catwoman comes in and just jumps on that motorcycle, and it just drive and take off, right? Like that wasn't that problem. Okay, so let's go to this incarnation of Catwoman, which they made her related to Tony. At first, I was like, wait a minute. Okay, that's cool. At first, it was like, whenever they get trail away from the original story, I was in my spider sense. I'm like, oh, you put too much in. And then I thought that was, Will Travis, right? Will Travis. It's really, really good. And I love the way it was all, we got our face Batman, right? We're starting off with Catwoman, and he did Catwoman for his birthday. It wasn't like he was like sucking up to her, like he was like, he was like, oh, I can do this. And he did. He protected on Halloween. Greg and then Hush. Greg. Now, what's his name? Yeah, he played the lead role. Not that. Great job. Good job, buddy. I thought it was fun, especially with young Batman. I love this. They got a big thing going. What else? Okay, so I love the Riddler. I thought the Riddler was great, especially at the end of the film when he was sobbing. He was sobbing. The Joker was beside him laughing. It was pretty cool. Sounds like they've got this backup. turns out that the actor that portrayed him in that movie was the same actor that was in Journal. He just got killed. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but I remember he did. And that hurts me, right? So it'll be interesting which way they take that. That was cool. So let's just say it was the Joker. That's great. I thought great. Also, how that, yeah, that was just, right? Like, that's a lot of play. Getting back. I like the way they did both the things. However, they don't do like yeah, you notice just have yeah. So it's kind of like, that was the one point I was going to make is that versus projectiles. It's odd that even the inner Batman with those projectiles coming out of one battering on the chest now. I didn't watch against Knight, but he had all these things on his hands. It's like he look. But I'm going to watch against Knight. Yeah, projectiles. There's a scene where I thought, okay, here we go. He's going to shoot something else. Um, I was, it was obvious that Captain I think things like this. Oh, ready for the countdown? Catwoman save of 5, 4, 3. I was like, ooh, really saw that coming. I was surprised because the movie was rolling so weirdly and oddly along, and all of a sudden it was totally the Catwoman was Batman for the lead. You know what? Isn't leaving things safe as a related. I would have got those. Okay, so it's funny that they try to write for us. You can predict. Oh, you did. Oh, dear. We just like it. Yeah. So it's kind of like it's still like that. Um, okay. Let's cast the Paul Carroll as great. Awesome. Loved it. Good. I done that. It's like not to make that. So I done it. It's basically a book. So like not it's kind of like the boss. And it's kind of like there's kind of yeah, I very like I did it. I'm like but not right. That was really why I don't think like that was what they focused on. That's what was going on in that at that time. Using gangs and stuff. It's not like you're going to mess you up yet. It's like, no, it's just a vicious played it well. You did good. No kidding. You Batman. Oh, no, played by great actor. Great character. good to see how often it is Batman. Starting to go. You're just a little while. What's going on? You're like trying to sleep anymore. It's just like purple baby in the background. Just walking around, in that spot. It's cool because again that other guest that we had on the spot. You done a couple other great points about that. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, oh no. I apologize, my friend. No, you made the point about Matthew. That I use all the time. Second point, oh no, I lost my train of thought. What was it? Getting into the psyche of Batman. Right, getting into the psyche of Batman. So that's what he was getting just in the trailer. Okay, Rob. Sorry, buddy. Good job, Rob. Two great points on our show. One making this one Batman one. I forget names all the time. Yeah, that's why I drink heavily. That's why Rob. Right, so anyway, he's the trailer. And I'm thinking, and then you're thinking about the stroke. Yeah, you're thinking about the stroke of that. I was worried. And then watching it, it's like, what part of this place is about? It was about when you just got into this new job and you don't realize what you get yourself into. It's so deep into being the Batman that you realize you're fighting this way to Batman. It's not made it was a long time. It was said how long it had been. And then when he did make it this way, so they're working on the psyche of Batman, which way right when he's having a hard time, having like he's about to lose what a great spot with his psyche. Love it. Overall, I give it 4.5 years out of 5. I think they missed out on the flying object. I was so long in the future. Nope. Yeah, me and my wife were both didn't realize it was 3 hours long. My projectile. I always think it's a projectile, and I think they did not get the projectile, so they could do that cheap scene with that. I wish there's no way I could find out if I'm right or wrong. I would love to hear what that meant. I think it could shut them all up and take care of it. Rob says things on the show with us that I find everything. And I'm just saying, on the show. And I did it twice, so it's kind of like, this is awesome Matthew's comment. Now that I'm playing hockey again, buddy, I'm back out there. Okay.
These hands were once used for battle. Now they're but humble tools for peace. I need to figure out exactly who I am. I want to choose my own path, live in the moment. My superheroing days are over.
Remember what I told you? You ever feel lost? Just look into the eyes of the people that you love. Not me.
What? Just listening.
bucks. Cool. Decent. They didn't even show a lot.
So we're going to start with the song choice.
I was just complaining about that.
Chris is going to have to teach Sweet Child of Mine for the next year and a half when all the kids that watch Thor for the first time go, I want to hear that song.
It's my probably one of my least favorite Guns N' Roses songs, just because I've heard it so much. I love that song, but man, I should be getting paid to hear that song now.
Well, I think they had to get all the Trumpers back.
How's that? I don't get why I don't get the coalition.
Well, because the idea is that like they're gonna. I'm not watching one of those left-wing movies from one of those left-wing. One of those left-wing movie studios that told me to get vaccinated. Then they go, oh, but Sweet Child of Mine is playing, so I got to go see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because I just think that they like the Kid Rock and they like the guns and they like the and all that stuff. I think they did it for that.
Okay,
all right.
So this is Thor, God of Thunder, issue 25, and I got these in a dollar bin.
How much?
A couple years.
$1?
$1, man. And this was a couple years ago, but I knew I had, my spider senses were on these. I researched them, and there she is. Where's the camera? I want to get this in there. There you go. There she is. First appearance. Jane Foster's Thor, and that's the one that we saw at the end of the trailer there, right? Well, there's the first appearance. So I own that, and that's in here, and I have this a couple times, actually, because it was a dollar bin. It was like, I might as well grab two. I think that's like an $80 to $100 comic. It could be even more since I've checked. I haven't checked in a while.
Right? So, like, here's a prime example. Chris goes to the dollar bin, and, if you're smart, like, I guess it's no different than somebody buying crypto or buying stock and speculating.
Mm-hmm.
But Chris buys a $1 Thor comic. And thinking, okay, this is just going to be a cool story, and then now they've
I knew
that it was coming.
No, I knew that. Well, I knew that was that. I didn't know the Jane Foster one. That was a bonus.
Yeah,
there was only 25 books in the series. Okay. All right, they had the whole series there, and in duplicates. And I bought the whole 25 the first time I went in there. I went back again, and there was still a whole number 1 to 25 left.
Wow,
I'm getting speechless because I was just like. So I even said to the guy, man, you might want to grab some that are left. And he was like, he didn't really believe me. But anyway, and then there's more. Like, the thing they didn't show was it's going to be Gore the God Butcher, right? And that's Christian Bale's new character. And this is the birth of Venom. This is basically where Venom comes from. Gore.
How come?
It's because he comes from this sword. Okay, so the story of Christian Bale in the comic books, his character, Gore, the God Hunter there. Okay, so he was on this other planet in a tribe, and they worshiped the gods. Well, they stopped getting rain. They started getting famine. Everything started going poorly, and they blamed themselves. Gods, we must have done something to anger the gods. Well, this one dude, Gore, is like, F the gods. We didn't do anything wrong.
Right.
What the hell, man? So they kicked him out. He goes out on his own. He's wandering in the desert. These two things fall from the sky. Boom. He's almost dead. He's going through the desert. He gets closer. He sees it's an angel, a god angel, a good god, and a bad god fighting each other. The bad god's sword is there, and he's already dead. And the good god is like asking for help. And Gore goes up there and grabs the sword from the evil god and says, where were you when we needed you? Kills him. So upon killing the god, he's now the God Butcher, and the sword venomized kind of thing, right? And he becomes the original symbiote. So that's huge. And again, when that comes out in the movies, woo! These are already worth, again, like $80 to $100. Got them for $1 each. I got a couple of these. May bring some to the Comic-Con. That's the beauty of doing these Comic-Cons, too, is I got a box of comics I'm going to bring myself and try and sell. I got a $5 box. And I could bring some big money ones too, which is cool.
Some of y'all invest in crypto. Some of y'all invest in stock. $1 investment, $80 return.
Yeah,
and that's not the first time.
No, I could say I could easily get $50 for each of those books I just showed you, and I got them for $1. Like, I'm talking $80. I might have $80 to $100. I might have to like hum and haw and find the right people. Mm-hmm. But $50, if I put those up, they would be gone by the end of the day. I guarantee they would be gone by the end because they're mint as well. They're mint.
So you got a taste of Padme there.
Yeah, Padme doing the Jane.
Jane. Okay, so
Jane of Thunder.
So they drop that in there. So
right at the end.
I'm assuming she'll maybe come in at the end, or she thinks she's going to play a bigger role.
Nah, they're just teasing us a bit. It almost looked like they were showing us the new Guardians movie there, right? For a while. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, it looks so funny.
Yeah,
it looks so funny. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. They really. I love it when you see the trailer and you go into the movie and it's like
A little
It's like,
different.
whoa, that's not
That wasn't there.
what I thought was going to happen.
They're
Decent.
starting to do that a lot
Decent.
more now.
Yeah.
They're starting to do that way more.
Well, they got to because we're smart.
Yeah,
The
they're
fans are really
moving around.
smart.
So, looking cool. The two Thor standalone Thor movies were really funny, like really good.
Well, the last
I
one
thought-
was.
I thought they were
The last one was.
yeah.
The Thor 2 was pretty bad.
So this should be interesting. It's funny because we've talked a bit about being marveled out or something, and I think people came out of like Wanda and they came out of Falcon, sort of like in this like I think they got through Wanda because Wanda we talked was a stretch for a lot of people, but they got through it, and then I think Falcon suffered from that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, they're bringing your Emily Van Camp back.
I thought they were getting rid of her.
No, she's come back. So, anyways, so there was just sort of like feeling. I was like, are we done? Are we done for a little while?
Mm.
But it looks like they're pouring it on.
Well, they're not going to stop. They
No,
can't
but
stop.
it's just like, I mean, you'll keep going. But do you think
I don't watch everything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm on the sides cheering for when. Like I'll see Thor eventually. I still haven't seen the new Spider-Man movie. It's it's the kind of thing where I kind of know what's going to happen. Like with the big ones, because they never stray too far aside with the big ones. Like so, I know the story they're going to have with Thor. Thor, the God Butcher. I know the basic story of it.
Yeah.
So it does. I'd rather enjoy it at home for the most part.
Sure.
Plus, COVID's still flying all over the place, man. It's
bad again here in Ontario.
Yeah, it's really bad. So I don't mind staying home. But I go out occasionally. I still keep my mask on. The first time I took it off, I got COVID. I think I already told everybody about that, which is crazy. So I still wear it. And then my hockey team, in our dressing room, we had a COVID outbreak there too. And I think I was the only one that had his mask on actually, and I'm okay. I didn't catch COVID that time, which is good.
Anybody look at you weird?
Oh yeah, but I think so. Actually, you know what? I don't pay attention because usually if somebody's looking at me weird, it's not because I'm wearing a mask. It's usually because of something that I've said. What'd you do last night, Chris? Oh man, I read like issue 1 to 3 of Spider-Man, and then drew this, and I watched like some old cartoons, and I look up, and then I look up and I get that look, and I'm like, I've said far too much.
You weren't in your garage working on your car.
Yeah, it's better. It's better for me not to say anything, and I'm fine with that. But this is why I like going to these comic conventions because I get to see a lot of my fellow nerd folk, and when I teach, I get to see the younglings, the next generation coming up, which really inspires me.
So what do you think they're going to... We touched a couple of weeks ago on stories that they should do.
Mm-hmm.
But what do you think is actually going to be next?
With what?
Just that Marvel universe. Like Thor,
well,
you got Venom.
The big one. Okay, what's the big one? The big
the-
one's going to be the X-Men. We're all waiting for the X-Men because we're all waiting for Wolverine. Right? That's the big one. The big one is like Daredevil's coming in. That's great for us hardcore fans who like a great character and a great story. Wolverine is a great character, but he's been through so many. Daredevil's basically the same character from day one. You know, that's what everybody likes about him. The thing about the X-Men is we'll see what they do, but Wolverine is an amazing character. Everybody loves him. You know what I mean? So the X-Men franchise will be the big one. I would like to say Fantastic Four, as they were the first family of Marvel, right?
You don't think that the X-Men, the relaunch of X-Men will be affected by the last series? Because the last couple ones have been a bit shit.
Yeah, well, they had...
Other than Logan. Logan was great.
Yeah, the biggest problem was the writers. They had some amazing actors in there that did some good things. But for an example, they put Havoc in as the adult brother of the Summers brothers, who comes into the X-Men, and Cyclops as the younger brother, who was the fly off the handle guy. That was ridiculous. And Cyclops is his character is a leader. He is the first X-Men. The very first, there's Xavier, and he finds Cyclops. That's the story. Don't stray from that. That's ridiculous. That right there, boom. Now, we didn't know that because we started with the most, still to me, one of the best comic book scenes ever is the intro to X-Men 1, where little Magneto gets his parents taken away from him by the Nazis. And then expand on it in First Class. So as a comic fan, I know that our community is now we know we're going to get that kind of storytelling, which is in the comic book, with the continuity that Marvel's going to use. They're not going to throw like a young Alex Summers in there. They're not going to throw the horse before the cart, so to speak.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? Wolverine will probably be in there. He's not the first mutant. He's not the first X-Men. That is one thing that...
Who's going to play him?
Well, Daniel Radcliffe, buddy.
Well, He's trying to get. The
That's who I want to play. I'm just saying that's who I want. I don't know who they'll pick. They'll probably pick somebody who I don't know. You know what I mean? That I don't recognize because I'm an old guy. But I would love to see Daniel Radcliffe get the role just because I know he wants it so bad, and he is a good actor. He is a solid actor.
Okay, that's great. So we think X-Men next. There's probably another Guardians coming.
There's a trailer for it as well. Yeah, there's a trailer for it.
These Thors will keep going.
Mm-hmm. And I think there's an Avenger quickie trailer that came out. Like, wow, they're hitting us with stuff. It's crazy.
It's funny. There's just so much money to burn, on these comic book things. Like, it just keeps going. And I guess
so many stories.
There's so many stories.
And I guess if Marvel owns all these stories already, see, that's why we're getting all these fresh stories from the comic universe, because they bought them. They're there to choose from.
Yeah.
Whereas in the horror universe, in the thriller universe, they're just redoing old stories, unless you have somebody like dude who writes Get Out and Key or Peele.
Okay. So that's a good point, because the rise of the horror movie was. The part of it was the movie theater experience, the slasher flick, the whatever, when it got really cheesy. But the rise through the 80s, late 70s, 80s of the horror. Now they're kind of changing it. It changed with Saw. It changed with some of these ones where it became a bit more like over the top, gory, kind of like whatever.
Yeah. They're trying to shock them more than scare them, I think, right?
And so the definition of like thriller versus horror. So you have to have a mix of the two of them, which is what made, say, Nightmare on Elm Street so great. It made The Shining, whether that's a horror movie or not. But like, Halloween, like, that sort of like dread feeling, that uncomfortable feeling versus just cheesy horror. So that's a genre that I would like to see come back. I know it's not, quote unquote, gone, but I do feel that it's gone myself, because there's like The Conjuring and there's all these things that kind of like, it's witchery and it's like scary doors and what's behind the door. But like, even when they did the Poltergeist remake, it wasn't that good. No. So what brings the horror genre back?
Okay, so here's what you got. Now you go to YouTube and you look at real mysteries. You look at missing people. You look at the last real rad video I watched was, I think I mentioned it last time, was a new series I'm watching. And it was people who get lost, hunters and hikers who get lost mysteriously. And these cases are friggin' amazing, man.
Yeah.
But so that is more of the real horror to me now.
Yeah.
And you know what else gets me is some of these real door cam or dash cam footages, dude. Holy shit.
Think about how ahead of the game like Blair Witch was. And
amazing, right?
What is that one with the ghost in the house? But it was like all done.
Yeah, that took a while for Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, that thing was filmed on $80 and it made
because it feels real, right? They don't want you it's great you can make a leg look like a real leg cut in half. You know what I mean? It's great that you can make that look real, but instead of making me grossed out, why don't you make me think?
So are you sad about the cheesy horror going away?
No, because as I say, it hasn't really gone away for me. I just watch YouTube videos now, man, and I binge watch them. Sometimes I'll just put on, it's like, 24 hours of scary stories, and it's just like, oh yeah, it's like some guy's talking to me, he's telling me these wicked horror stories. And I find it better because I'm using more of my imagination for these stories. And apparently these are real stories, you know what I mean? Like, they're probably not. There's Reddit stories, there's Halloween stories. But I really, really like, so I've been getting into the different theories, conspiracy theories. I would love to have a show on the network. Chris Machete's True Believers Club.
There you go.
And I would talk about conspiracy theories, man. I would love to do that. So that's what I'm watching. And I find that is my new horror movie. That is my new suspense movie. And they're real. These are real stories. And I love them, man. Some of them are friggin' scary. Some of these people that disappear in the woods, these guys who have been in these woods and the woods they're being lost in all their life. And people are searching in hundreds and they come back a week later and there he is in the spot we looked. What the F? That's awesome. Like, not for that person. Sorry. That storytelling wise, that's fantastic. That's my new horror genre. Yeah.
So the remakes that are happening, I heard an interview with Jamie Lee Curtis and she loved this new Halloween remake. She loved making it. Now I'm reading two different sides of the reviews. People are like, it's absolutely terrible. Mm-hmm. And then other people are like, it was done really great. Thing is, it's basically her franchise now. She loved it.
Of course she did.
But I mean, for an actress or someone to keep going back and back and back, like I know Tom Cruise goes back to Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
All these people go back to these different things, but she just keeps going back.
Mm-hmm.
Is it like to get it right? And she just likes the characters. So I would love to see a new Nightmare on Elm Street
Mm-hmm.
with Fred, what's his nuts who played him?
Mm-hmm.
Robert Englund.
Okay, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. And like, so they don't need to remake it. Just make a new one with him,
Mm-hmm.
with like the current crop of writers and somebody like Kevin Smith, like smart guys,
Mm-hmm.
like the Get Out guy. Hey, Get Out guy. Hey, Jon Favreau, you two get together, write a Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Yeah.
Like, come on. That would be like amazing. And then even, is Kane Hodder alive still?
Who?
The guy who
the
played,
wrestler.
No, the guy who played Jason.
Oh, I don't know.
But I'm just saying it would be amazing to have like these horror things come back with some of these original guys. I would love to see Robert Englund play Fred Krueger again,
Mm-hmm.
written and with the same amount of awesome that the original Nightmare on Elm Street was.
Right.
Those first three, those first three were amazing. Johnny Depp.
I was just gonna say they could get Johnny Depp back in there now.
Yeah, with
man.
Amber Heard.
The movie would just fly, right?
That would be great. Again, maybe he's the new Fred Krueger. Yeah, he got sucked.
I like
into the
Johnny.
water
Anyway, yeah, he was in the very first Freddy Krueger, and Kevin Bacon was in the very first
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th, man.
But I would love to see, like, if they're gonna, I don't want them to remake, but if they can pull Robert Englund in and do a Nightmare on Elm Street with him,
not an origin one, just like a new one,
just a new one, but done really, really well.
Right. You don't have to have this person's second,
It doesn't-
cousin removed from somebody else's
Yeah, it
mother that
doesn't
was in
need
the
to be
third.
like.
Oh my God! I remember you from my mother's brother's aunt's stories at night.
I don't think you can. I don't think you could like ignore the ones that he did because it.
No.
You could do something where like, 4, 5, and 6 were a dream of his own.
Mm-hmm.
But out of Dream Warriors, and maybe you can get Dawkins back for the soundtrack. Out of
Don't
Dream
explain
Warriors,
anything. Just start it up again with a really good,
with a good
solid
story.
story, man. Get some good actors in there. Do it proper. That'd be great. I'd like to see that.
Yeah, I think it would be really cool. I love that series. It's one of my favorite horror series.
That's a good one. That's my wife's favorite horror is that one as well.
The idea of being, you can die in your dream. You're gonna, they were just the creative ways that they had them die in the dreams and stuff were like, yeah,
it's good. Yeah, it's a scary dude, man. His origin was pretty scary too about his mom. It's kind of gross,
yeah,
sick, but it was well told. That was it's Wes Craven, right?
Yeah,
Wes Craven. Man, he's awesome.
So we'll see. Yeah, friends. Well, I mean, hey, I got to catch a train to Ottawa. So
I got to play some hockey.
He's going to play some hockey. So we'll give you 48 minutes, 50 minutes today on the Dean Blundell Network. Couple reminders. Make sure to check out Chris here at the Kingston Comic Con this weekend.
Yes. Or go to my store. You can go if you go to Machete Comics .ca. You can buy all the stuff online. You got to pay a little more for shipping, but at least
Yeah. Look at that one. Look how shiny that is. Brand new. I'm going to read it on the train. I'm super stoked. I'm probably going to freak out someone beside me, but it's fine.
Cool. They can take it.
Get yourself a copy of this.
Yeah, or a graphic of it.
Get yourself a copy of that.
Yep.
I'm going to see your daughter out there, and we're going to be in the same town at the same time.
Yeah.
And, dude, great to see you. Here we are. Man. Same
boom.
Same room. It happens only twice a year now, I guess. I don't know. That's crazy, but
yeah.
Kids on the Escalator podcast, Dean Blundell Network. Make sure you go over there, deanblundell.com. All the rad things over there. Rob, we're gonna get you back on here.
Yeah, dude. I like Rob. Rob's smart.
We're gonna get Mikey P. I'm gonna see you in London. Sometimes host on here. Mike Pongratz.
Cheers, Mike.
He's gonna be in London.
Awesome.
And
enjoy the show, buddy.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad. So, cheers, everybody. Good times.
Rad dudes.
All right.
Be good to each other.